So, hi Rohit. Hello, and congratulations on your wonderful 150-point improvement to a 740 score. How are you feeling with that wonderful score?
Uh, thanks, Hira. Thanks for having me. So yeah, I think based on the course and the mocks I had, I always knew that my score would be in 740 to 760 range. I think it was expected, I guess. But I feel happy that I could meet the expectation, and there were some hurdles on the test day. So I guess that affected maybe 10 points or something. So yeah, but it's still in the range I expected. So I'm happy about that.
That's really great. So, for our audience who doesn't know you as well as I do, give them a little bit of background on who you are.
My name's Rohith, and I graduated from Civil Engineering Department, IIT Guwahati in 2020. From then, I'm working in private equity group as an investment analyst for the last 2 years. I look after SaaS acquisitions for my company.
Nice. So, how did you kind of enter the GMAT prep space? What was your entry point there?
You mean like the GMAT or the specific e-GMAT this course?
No, GMAT itself, right?
Yeah.
So you graduated 2 years ago, you're working in private equity. So what made you realize that, okay, you know what, I want to take the GMAT and I want to go on to my higher studies now?
I think it was always there, and I had an inclination towards finance and management. So I started pretty early, even in second year of my undergraduation. I was doing some internships in finance and everything. Higher studies would be obviously would be the next step, and I'm still not 100% sure of like where I want to do it, MBA or the course or masters in finance, everything. But I just knew that higher studies is the next step at this part of my career. GMAT is the obvious first step, right? So that's how I plan to take the GMAT.
Mm-hmm. And how did you start your GMAT prep journey, right? So you realized that the GMAT is the obvious first step, but what was your first step in in your GMAT journey?
First step was talking to a friend who had taken last year. So he told me to buy the OJ books and then start doing it, get the hang of it. What is the exam? What are the questions like? What are the sections like, and everything. I did that. I got the OJ books and then started doing 10 questions from each subsection to get the hang of each section and to know what are my strong and weak areas. That was the entry point.
Mm-hmm. And then when did you realize that you needed some more structure or some more guidance in your prep to get to that target score?
So I was doing this 10 questions in each section, right? So quant was fine. With the basics and foundation I had, it was comparatively easy. But when it came to verbal, I think verbal also as well, accuracy was good, like 70% or 75 or so. But I was not very sure of the logic behind my answers. I was just reading the question and then, especially in sentence correction or critical reasoning, I was just reading the question and picking the answer I felt was appropriate or some kind of instinct or something vague, right? Basically, yeah, was just doing that. So to aim a high, I was aiming a high score. When your aim is so high, you need to do a lot of work, and you need to eliminate these vague things in the middle, right? Yeah,
Absolutely.
You don't know, even if your accuracy is good, if your process is so vague, you don't know what happens during the exam, the actual test, right? I knew that I need some kind of uh, foundation in verbal. I need more methodologies, and so now I'm a working professional. I don't have enough time to do it all myself. So definitely a structured approach would be really helpful, is what I thought at that point. So I searched online what are the kind of courses offered for GMAT, and then I think I came across e-GMAT and a couple of others as well. But then I then talked to this friend who took the e-GMAT course a couple of years or last year. He sent a sort of guide of what e-GMAT is, uh, uh, what are the strong areas of e-GMAT, how does it help in your preparation and everything. So after talking to him, I took the e-GMAT trial, for 7-day trial, and found that uh, methodology and everything really helpful during that time.
So then you kind of took the deep dive, took the course, and the first thing that you did, right? One of the first things that you did was actually take a mock. How did you feel when you saw that mock score, that first mock score, was a 590?
Yeah, it was 590. I got a little bit scared. Is this where my benchmark, like, am I 590 really now? Like, there's a huge upside there then, but I had to do a lot of work, right? So I was a little bit scared, but then I didn't have a lot. I mean, I didn't touch any like maths or verbal for 6-7 years. So it was kind of understandable. But then, yeah, I think I was a little bit surprised, actually. Not scared would not be the word, but surprised that 590 is where I was standing at that point.
So at that point, you kind of understood, okay, there's a long way to go, and it's not just verbal, it's quant as well. So what did you decide after that? Where did you decide to start with, quant or verbal?
I started with quant. After the mock, there was this customized plan given to me. I think, I mean, I could have adjusted adjust the plan, but I think it sort of told to start with the quant first. So at that point, I thought that there's a lot of time for me, so I might as well start with a quant. So sort of ease into the preparation, not take the hard one first, sort of, for me personally.
Because quant was already your strong suit, so play to your strengths and then tackle those bigger weaknesses, which is a sound approach, absolutely, right? Especially when, like you said, there was no, you weren't running against a deadline. You had the time to do things right, to take things slow, so you decided to use that. So you started out with the quant course, which, of course, because you do have some bearing with your background on quant, how did you kind of feel going through that pace guided course, which allowed you to perhaps optimize your quant experience?
Yeah. Great question. So I started with a quant, right? I opened the course, and there were lot of modules. Like, I was like, when am I going to complete all this? Like, there were each subsection, there were like 30 modules, and the estimated time was like 34 hours, 31 hours. So I was thinking, when I'm going to complete all this, like, yeah. So but then I saw that there was a diagnostic test at the beginning of each subsection, where once you take the test, it will instruct you whether to skip some sections or go through all of them, kind of thing. So it was really helpful. So I think, like, I took diagnostic tests for all the subsections. It helped me to skip a lot of sections where I was strong enough to, yeah. But then it was not like completely skipping also, right? You can skip the learning modules, but you have to take the practice quizzes again. So it sort of, I can save the time as well, and also be sure that I'm not just doing a mistake. I'm practicing the skip parts as well, and making sure that my accuracy is good and my basics are good.
So you were able to essentially, like you said, find that perfect balance between saving times on things you already knew, but still gaining that practice, so you weren't moving forward in blind faith that, I knew these things.
Yeah, of course, it was important. If it was completely skip this section, move to next section, maybe, like, I would be happy that I saved some time, but at the back of my mind, I would be thinking, am I really strong in that section? Like, if there is a very hard question, would I be able to do it? So you can answer those questions for yourself while practicing the quizzes, right? And more often, I think more often not diagnostic quizzes is accurate. If it says to skip the learning models, you would be strong enough to do at least 80-90% accuracy. And while practicing those questions, you will, of course, regain some lost formulas, some sort of things, and then improve your accuracy over there as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what I can see through your quant journey is that as soon as you finish the modules for a particular subsection, number properties, word problems, whatever, you'd move to cementing as well. So how did that cementing process, especially right after doing the modules, help you gain that mastery?
Yeah. So module is just the learning part, right? You can you can learn all you want, but then you have to answer the GMAT questions correctly.
Mhm,
So how do you know that? You have to take the cementing quiz. Once you know take that quiz, it's almost GMAT level questions, right? It's GMAT level questions, yeah, even harder in some ways. So yeah, so you will get to know like that there's a benchmark in each level of hardness, right? If for medium you have to get 70%, for hard you are 55%. So I think those are very good benchmarks, I guess. And you know, if you cross that, you can be sure that you are good in this section.
mhm,
It's very good for now. If there is any improvement, you can definitely do that later. I mean, it's not done, right? You'll have to take a lot of mocks later and everything, so you will improve that accuracy by 10-20% easily. but
mhm,
but if you cross the benchmarks at that point, you'll be good to go to the next section.
mhm. So then, you worked through all 5 quant sections. You were optimized in your prep because you were strong. You were able to skip things while practicing, while gaining that mastery. And then eventually you moved to verbal. So in verbal, I think you started out with the Master Comprehension course, right? How did that kind of open the floodgates into verbal prep?
Yeah. So again, important thing here is I didn't know what master comprehension was and everything, but the e-GMAT told me to take it, so I took it. But so what happened there was it that module, that kind of section helps to helps how to read the sentences, and therefore how to answer other subsections, right? Other actual test subsections. So it's the foundation, I guess, especially for non-native speakers.
Mhm,
Yeah, I mean, we speak English now, everything, but there would be some fundamental lacking coming from our schooling or whatever when it was not so strong. So just taking that section will help you to fill those gaps if you have any in very basic fundamental things. If you have any gaps, it will help to fill those and understand the language better, understand the intention behind the writing better.
mhm.
So you can easily answer other subsections.
Absolutely. Intent is such an important part of comprehending in the GMAT, and understanding that you need to pay attention to the intent behind anything that's said to you in any question is really one of the most important parts of being successful in the exam itself. So then I think you moved from Master Comprehension to SC, right? And SC is one of those big subsections that people tend to worry about. People start to, get overwhelmed with the rules, the process, all of that. So how did you feel going through that SC course, especially because you had been recommended the course because of its verbal section as well?
Yeah. So yeah, it was definitely overwhelming while taking it. I won't lie that, because SC is also a very big module, and there are a lot of a lot of modules in it as well, and and all these grammar concepts and all that you most of the people would not be very strong in.
Mhm,
Uh, I mean, so you start taking the SC, and but you will eventually find that there is one underlying thing behind all this.
mhm,
That underlying thing is understanding the intent and meaning of this sentence. So you kind of understand that this is the main thing. The rest all are helping this main thing. So once you understand that and keep that in back of your mind while solving all the subsections, one will definitely find it easier
mhm,
comparatively. I think anyone taking e-GMAT AC course should always keep in mind that understand the meaning and the intent of a sentence is the primary and most basic thing
mhm.
that will help. Yeah. So if you keep that in mind while going through all these learning modules, you will definitely find a lot of answers for yourselves, and then uh, improve the accuracy as well.
Absolutely, right? That meaning is the core element of GMAT SC. So remembering that meaning is the area you need to focus on. So very, very important. Then I think from SC with that meaning approach, you moved into CR. So how did you kind of find the CR course? Because that's where you had to learn a whole new process as well, right? Pre-thinking. And you had some very curious things to say about pre-thinking as well the last time that we spoke. I'm sure the audience would love to know as well.
My experience kind of with the CR was basically very interesting as well. I think my favorite part of the GMAT is CR. Definitely, if I am given only one subsection to solve, I will definitely take the CR because it's most interesting.
Uh-huh.
My take, as Rita was mentioning, was that CR is very, very instinctive. We are reading things and we are learning things from our childhood. So when we read something, we automatically, in the back, at least in the back of my subconscious mind, will think of the flaws in it. We think of the, kind of flaws. Like if I say I'm reading a passage or in a newspaper or some political thing or anything for that matter. So when I read that, I'll definitely understand that, oh, she didn't mention that. If he mentioned that, then this would have been stronger. Why didn't he mention that? Is he being biased to some section? So that kind of thing we always doing. Everyone does that. Everyone who reads does that, right? So I think that CR came really instinctive to me, the pre-thinking approach, but I needed some kind of formulation for that, some kind of structure for that, for which e-GMAT helped a lot. So I think while reading of the pre-thinking, I really was enjoying that process. So unconsciously doing that for every passage, it was really fun.
I'm really glad to hear that, because I think CR is also an area where you have to be very deliberate in the way that you approach questions. And that for some people can be difficult. But understanding that you can have fun with the process, that you can enjoy what you're studying, I think that kind of makes studying in itself easier, right? You just said if you could choose any subsection to do, it would be CR. And I think that would have made learning and doing CR as well a lot easier for you because it's something that you genuinely enjoyed.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it's also a testament to your very logical mindset that CR and pre-thinking just fell into place for you. And I think that's also indicative of the larger trend that the GMAT is testing, which is logic, right? And I'm sure that having taken the GMAT, you as well understand that logic is one of those core key skills that the GMAT is testing. And it's just breaking that down into different mannerisms of testing and different areas that they're testing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Your GMAT just tests your logic, whether it be in math in a more conservative way you have been used to, or in verbal through SC and CR and even RC for the matter. Testing the logic in different kind of ways, testing the logic through understanding meaning, testing the logic through finding the flaws in a passage. So GMAT essentially tests only logic.
Absolutely. And gaining mastery of that skill. We've talked about that, gaining mastery over comprehension, gaining mastery over logic, but it's really those two core skills that create that basis for GMAT success. Logic and comprehension, hand in hand, and you're really good to go. All you need, as you said, is a little bit of structure, right? Okay. So then from the CR course, that's where you moved into pretty much the last thing that you had to learn, which was RC. So how did it feel coming to RC, one as the last subsection and two after both SC and CR?
Yeah. So SC and CR, after going through everything in SC and CR, definitely your understanding in English language definitely improves. Understanding intention of the author who is writing a piece definitely improves. And that is what essentially RC tests as well. So the foundation you get in SC and CR is actually helping you in RC as well. It's RC is nothing different here. You just take whatever you gain from here, and then you experience questions in somewhat different way. But the process is same. You read a piece, understand the intention of the whole piece, keep a framework in your mind, and then read a question about it, and then do the obvious thing.
Just follow the logic essentially till the end, right? And after RC, needless to say, after SE and CR, you were also cementing. That's when you'd kind of reach that stage where, okay, I'm done with the course. What next? So what did you do then?
Yeah. Very beginning, at the time of very beginning of the course, I had some doubt or something. I don't remember now, but I had some doubt, and I kind of mailed to you guys. So you send the you solve that and then everything. But then I was curious, right? So I just asked, when can I meet my mentor or some sort of thing. So I think I got the reply that once you are done with the course, that would be appropriate times, because emitter can help more at that point. But if I had any doubt, that I could definitely reach out to you guys. But directly meeting a mentor would be more appropriate once I finish the course, right? So I knew that. So I immediately, once I finished all the modules, I mailed you guys that I had done this and this. So what was the next step? So at that point, I got in touch with you.
And I think that's when we started working together. The first thing that we started working on was test readiness, right? Building up that stamina. So how do you think the test readiness process tested all of these skills that you'd learned individually?
Yeah. So yeah, it's a long journey, right? You start at some point and then goes through a lot of things, and then in the preparation, at learning stage of the preparation. So immediate taking the test preparation immediately after this helps you to recollect all you learned till this stage. So you went through all these sections, you did everything, you did cementing and everything. But are you are you now ready to take the test? Do you have everything in your mind? Right? Did you just learn and forget, or did you practice on that and it became a second nature to you? So that's a question, right? So test readiness helps us to answer that question. Am I ready? Am I really like learned everything and took something and kept in my mind? So that test readiness, and then again solving all the questions from all the subsections, of course in a structured manner. Try helps us to answer that question of if one is ready to go to the mocks.
Absolutely. And then we dived straight into mocks, right? We took, I think, about 3 mocks. So how did that mock phase go for you? What was that phase like?
I think my first mock was, first mock after the test preparation was 770, right? So that was a huge positive boost. Like, I didn't expect 770. Even while I was doing the mock, I was maybe thinking 740, something like that. Because I didn't yet take a full mock, right? But that was in the beginning. I didn't know anything at that point. So I didn't know how much I have to do to get a certain score. How will I have to do that? That is the first mock of the preparation. But 770 was very good score. I don't know if that's completely reflective of my ability at that point, but it was sure that I had my fundamentals right. If you don't have your fundamentals right, you would not get a 770, right?
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Yeah. So for that part, I that was a good positive boost that I know things. Yeah, I have to apply them now, but at least I know things how to approach the GMAT. So yeah. And then again test readiness and going to next mock. Yeah.
And I think it was in between mocks that we had most of our communication. That's where I kind of mentored you the most, right? So what exactly do you think was your biggest takeaway from those conversations, from those sessions?
Yeah. So I took a mock, and then next day I meet you, right? So
Mhm,
there is a lot of analysis in the mock for each subsection, this and that, time take, everything, lot of things, lot of metrics
mhm,
that I would not know of, or at least take a lot of time for me to understand and work on that. But you kind of analyze my mock for me, and then comes with the next steps, like,
mhm,
okay, now you are taking time more for this kind of question. Yeah, so all that really helps to guide my preparation for the last stage.
mhm,
Where should I focus now, where can I be confident, and then leave that for now. So yeah, like, you take mocks for improving your performance, right? You take mocks for knowing your abilities better, knowing your test readiness better. So that kind of really helped to guide the preparation during that last stage.
mhm. Absolutely. And then I think we took about, I said 3, but we took 4 mocks. You got a 770, a 740, a 750, and a 730 in that order, right? And then you were ready. You went and took the test. So what was that test experience like?
Yeah. So I took the test at the physical center. I went to the
Mhm,
center and took the test. Uh, so I think that there were some. I think main thing was after the quant. I took quant, verbal, and then IR and AWS. So after quant, we get an 8-minute break, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I had some snack, I went to the washroom and came, and then again went to the washroom and came. I was thinking that it would be like maybe 5 or 6 minutes. I will still have to 2 or 2.5 minutes left. But when I went to the monitor, I was 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes past the time.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Oh no.
That I was absolutely sure that I would not have been past 8 minutes. I was very sure of that. So I just went to the washroom once again just to make sure that I'm ready to the next section. But when I went there, I was 2.5 minutes past the time. So I a little bit panicked for the first 5 or 6 questions.
Yeah,
But
especially because it was verbal, right?
verbal,
Where
yeah,
every minute is so very, very precious.
yeah. But I guess sort of fell into place after that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can't be sure if that affected my score or anything, but yeah, but at least it didn't affect the what you say, time, total time. I was able to complete the section, but so that was, yeah, that was good at least. Yeah,
Even with a 2.5 minute deficit and that natural panic, you were still able to finish every single question with time.
yeah.
That's really something. That is really absolutely something, because that's not, people always struggle to finish even 36 questions in 65 minutes. The fact that you only had about 63 minutes, right, and was still able to finish all questions is really
Yeah,
astounding.
even I didn't think I would be able to finish because time time was not my strongest suit, right? Even during the mocks, I was just able to complete, or some mocks I completed 2 or 3 minutes before, but most of the mocks I was one question behind,
Mhm.
or just able to complete like that. So, but I didn't think much because the questions won't let you think much about other things, right? You have
Yeah.
to put your full mind to that particular question. So that kind of helps you to just put your mind to it and just solve the question in front of you, rather than thinking about the things too much. It sort of fell into place. I also don't know if like how I managed that, because I honestly didn't manage anything. I just answer the questions. So I didn't consciously take a decision that I'll go very fast in this section, or RC I'll do this. I didn't. I just answer the questions as they came, and sort of just finish the section in the time.
Okay, that's really amazing, because that's really well put. And that's really just, I'm really happy to hear that you were just able to focus on one question 100% and leave other things behind, because that's the thing in the test like the GMAT. You have no control over the questions that are already gone,
Yeah.
and you cannot predict what question you'll get next. You only have that one question in front of you. So wasting energy, time, worry on anything other than that is really, really meaningless. So I'm really glad that you were able to carry that attitude, because I know it's something that we talked about as well for your exam mindset.
Yeah.
So high five to us, you know?
But I would definitely advise anyone taking the test in physical centers to just immediately go back to the monitor, because there's a lot of process in between as well. They will take your biometric, they will some security protocols, and then send you. But even then I calculated, I was sure that I would be able to go, but then I didn't. So I would advise anyone to just go, and if you are eating snack, and go to just finish that quickly and go as soon as possible.
Absolutely, absolutely. Word to the wise, right?
Yeah.
So now, you know, despite that worry, despite that hiccup, you were still able to score a V40, which is a 90th plus percentile score, right? You got a Q50 with a 740 overall. So when you saw that score, how did you kind of feel?
Yeah, even after all this, and then after other IR and AWS sections, yeah, I was expecting 740 or 750. Uh, I was expecting maybe Q51.
Uh-huh.
But then I think in the last 2 or 3 questions, I had somewhat less than 2 minutes per question time, and then quickly went through them. There was some probability question I was not completely sure of, but then quickly picked that. So yeah, I was happy that this experience didn't affect my score, at least. Like yeah, and and from the beginning I was expecting 740 to 760. So I was happy that I could reach that.
Yeah, you did. You reached there despite adversity, right? So you've had a long GMAT journey. You started in Feb and you took your test only about in August, right? So you've had a very, very full and thorough GMAT experience. So if you had to say anything to someone, who's just starting prep, or even someone who's in the middle of their prep, or who's just about to take the test tomorrow, what's one piece of advice that you'd have to say?
For those who are just starting the course, I would say just trust the course, and then do as it says. Because a lot of the people who are taking GMAT will be working professionals, and then won't have enough time to entirely accumulate information and then choose what is best and what is not. But I would definitely trust e-GMAT, and I would ask anyone to do so, because it's been there for a long time and it knows what it does. There's a very structured approach, a lot of experts there who have designed the course the way it is. Just trust the course, and don't use your intelligence much in the preparation. Like, I mean, in the way of structuring your preparation, because it's already there for you. Just trust the course and use your brain power to learn and answer the questions. So that's the thing I say. And also one more thing is you will have to unlearn a lot of things during the preparation.
Absolutely.
And you should definitely have a lot of patience, because you may, at some points you will be learning the things you already know, but if you didn't get very good in diagnostic test and you are forced to learn that, I think it's better to do that patiently, rather than skipping some things or this or that. So just follow the course, have fun, have patience would be the things I would say for one who is starting the course. And for one who is at the last stage of preparation, I would say text experience. Be sure to get back to your chair before the break time ends. That's very important. Yeah.
Absolutely. So trust the process, leave no stone unturned, have fun, be patient, and watch the clock. All very, very solid pieces of advice that I'm sure someone is going to benefit from. Absolutely. Especially that last bit, because I'm sure that now you've ingrained a little bit of fear in a lot of people who are going to take the test, So great. This has been a very long, but a very, very fulfilling journey, I think. I'm so glad that we were able to get you to your target score and that you had fun, because I think, like I said, that's the piece that people miss. That's the piece that, drags people down, that destroys their morale. It's that they take it, they are just not able to engage with their prep to the level that they can actively enjoy it. And it's an absolutely difficult process. You, who is a working professional who has studied for the GMAT, can attest to that. I, who studied full time for the GMAT, can also attest to that, right? But it's absolutely something that if you put that 5% extra to just try a little bit, right? It's not something that's ever going to be something that you choose to do, right? I'm sure that even after this, you're not going to one day just choose to randomly go and study for the GMAT for fun again. Absolutely not. But you've made a choice, you've made your bed, and if you're going to lie in it, it's better to just, do it with a smile on your face and try to enjoy it as much as you can. Absolutely. So I think that's everything said and done. All the very, very best, Rohit, for everything that's going to come for you next. And once again, congratulations on this amazing, amazing score. 150 points to a 740 is the kind of dream that very few hope to achieve.
Thanks, you.
All right. Thank you.